I've done
Just
it before.
get you a
what's up? Let's do this. Hey, look.
Daniels.
Exactly. I got it right here, man. And we're live, just as we're talking about that bottle of Jack. We're gonna have some fun. Welcome to Xbox Nation. I want to go ahead and get it started. Yes, we're still waiting for Mooch. He is actually the Mooch. He's gonna be here. Don't worry. His PC, is having issues. And the funny part is he doesn't even have a PC.
What's a PC? I don't know.
Exactly. What's a PC? So he actually has a Mac, and his Mac is like 20 years old or something. So, it's kind of funny to me, but I do think he said he's going to be here in a couple minutes. I think he had to reboot it or something like that. So yeah, make sure you guys share, like, and all that stuff. Get the word out real quick. But I can do some introductions. Salty, he wasn't going to be here. Then he was. So He's here. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm running off like 2 hours of sleep, so I'm extra salty today. So I just want to warn the chat. I might trigger a lot of you guys. So let's go. Let's do it.
Hey, that's okay. It looks like they're in a mood anyway. So we've got Lady Foxfire. What you doing? How's it going?
It's good. How are you? I just wanted to ask Salty. You got your Red Bull? At least we need to know.
Yo, I do. Actually, I'm trying the Monster today, so.
Oh, what? That's different.
Yeah.
He might blow up on all of us. Jesus.
Well, I mean, it's good to see you here and doing well and all that kind of stuff. And let me think. Have you done? Yeah, you've done some videos lately, so that's good to see. And you know what? Because we couldn't have Hellhammer here, I got somebody equally as good, at least. In Xbot 448, at least.
Okay.
What's going on, Xbot?
What's going on, everybody? I am back on the nation with the Xbox Overlord, and I gotta say, it's really good to be guesting on a podcast that has a true gaming YouTuber on the panel. And yes, I am talking about Lady Foxfire. What is going on?
Oh, shit.
Hey. You're not wrong, man. I can't even get an invite to play some Gears 4 with her. I was like, hey, how about an invite? She's like, nah, how about
there's a list. There's a list she has to go through when it comes to Gears, and it's like, you gotta get on the VIP.
I know I'm not good enough, apparently. Although I think I'm okay at Gears. I mean, I'm decent. I'm not like Zaire good, but I don't spin around the back
Zaire good.
in a circle. But hey, I do okay.
But you're not wrong though. There is a list of messages I have of people are like, hey, next time you play Gears, let me know. Sometimes they're not online, but Crappy was just messing with me the other night.
Yeah, you know what? I
should have got on.
I would have hopped on actually, because I was looking to actually play some Gears. I hadn't played in a little bit, and
Crap, if you ever want to play Destiny 2, I always have a spot open for you.
He has to play with Mooch. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. I got on Destiny 2 last week because I said, hey, I'm going to get on it. And I got like 20 messages within the first 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, I just wanted to check and make sure that I didn't need some kind of, update or whatever. And so I was on there and everybody's like, oh, you're playing it. It's great, huh? And I'm like, great. Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't really get to play it that much. But Mooch, are you actually in here?
Oh, my goodness.
He's here.
It's a Mooch sighting.
He is, but I can't hear him. So he's going to have to get his mic and stuff fixed. But he's here in spirit, and his icon is there. Icon is there. So that's
at his icon. Okay.
Good. Well, see, I don't run OBS. So, it's going to be it's going to be funny to see when he actually chimes in. He's going to be like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Mic check, 1 2.
1 2. Yeah. How's it going? I almost hear you, Mooch. I can't hear you at all. So, yeah. But anyway, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you guys for joining us. Share, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Get it out there so people can see it. YouTube doesn't do such a great job of actually doing that, so I would appreciate it.
Crap, I just did something crazy on this show. I hit this little icon that has the thumb pointing upwards. I just did it just now, and I think everybody in the chat should do that as well. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think that should happen.
You know what's even cooler?
Yeah.
When you press the thumbs up and the bell for somebody that you're subscribed to, that's amazing.
All right.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that is amazing, but sometimes that doesn't even work. Like I remember one time, like I'm subscribed to Mooch, right? And so I got got like an alert for Crossfire for like 2 weeks ago, like a week ago. It's like Mooch is gone live, and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, he went live. Me? Now we hear you. So hey, welcome.
I don't know, man. I can't. You know what is the whole thing? Here's people always say, oh, my PC decided to. As Crap was probably telling everybody, I don't have a PC, I have a Mac, but it decided to update itself right now. It's like, yep, we're doing this. You neglected me. I'm doing it.
Mooch, your first problem is buying a Mac.
Exactly. Well, and not only that, his Mac is like 20 years old, isn't it?
It's like 8 years old, but in a computer, that's like, it's probably 20.
Yeah.
But I am building a new PC in the next month. I'm waiting for that goddamn NVIDIA announcement, August 19th. Hurry the hell up. Anyway. So here we are, folks. Anyway, so I'm glad it's working for everybody. I don't know if I can't see anything. My whole thing, the whole app won't open or anything, but it looks like it's working. So how's Xbox Nation tonight? All right.
You know what? They're what's something the cool kids would say? They're lit or something. I don't know, man. I'm hilariously
lit right now.
Yes, I am hilariously uncool.
Awesome. You're cool.
I don't. Yeah, I don't really know. You know,
hip hop anonymous.
So I mean, but we are here. You know what I wanted to talk about, because so many people are pissed off, right? Because this is what I said. If you look at the title, PS4 sales slow down, which is true. They even forecasted them to slow down, and they lost the NPD in terms of overall sales. So did Xbox. I didn't say that Xbox beat Sony. I said Sony lost. You guys got to get what's going on, man. Like, get with it. I didn't say what you think I said. You're pissed off because I said something and I didn't include everything, because you can only put so much in a title, folks. I mean, like, damn, get with it.
I can solve this for everybody, okay? Crap is who you think he is.
Exactly, man. It's all.
Come on.
It's
Crap,
just
we all know who Crap
fun.
is.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, if you want to know, if you actually want to know what won the NPD, it was the NES Mini. I swear, it was the NES Mini. It won.
Nostalgia. Yeah.
It's
the reality is, if you're not first, you're last. So
well, the reality to a lot of people, I'm sure, like Microsoft though, was up 50% year on year with their sales. So that's good, because that means the X is helping to drive things a little bit better than last year this time. So they seem to be doing good. Sony seems to be doing good. Obviously, they're going down in terms of, they've obviously crossed over that peak or whatever. But, I'm sure they're still going to do good. Sony is in a weirder spot, though, because, they pretty much only rely on the PlayStation brand. And when you got all this stuff kind of switching up, that's going to be a little bit weird to see how they do things there, right? Like, if you look, I saw people tweeting it around yesterday, even though it was an older article, which was about how Sony's the new head or whatever was talking about doing microtransactions and games as a service and trying to do a little bit more of those types of things, counting monthly active users, because that's really important. I know, Mooch, you're not a big fan of monthly active users, but it's
not that I'm a fan of it or not. It's just that's how they want to measure now. That's fine. That's how things are measured. But I think, and tonight we'll get into it, I think we have to start to realize what that means for the corporation, what that means for gamers, and what that means for the debate on how successful a game is doing. I think it's 3 different categories. And each of them has their own health in it. Okay, they have their own healthiness, they have their own not doing well. So a lot of people are like, well, there's 5 million active users, and it's like, well, that is very good for column A. That's not necessarily good for B and C, or B and C is good and maybe A isn't. And we'll break that down later on in the show. I've really been thinking about it over the course of the day. Well, hey, it is what it is.
Pay some bills.
Oh, hold on. Somebody actually got to pay some bills. Hold on. Let me see who we got.
Yes.
Failed Pyromancer says, for Crap being who he is, good damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Good damn. Yeah. I mean, look, man, it's just like, if you guys haven't got the rib yet, it's all fun and games, man. I try to be entertaining. I try to be funny, just goofy. It's not serious. I wouldn't take any video games serious.
I got a question here, man.
Go ahead, Xbot. Let me see.
Did they really put the NES Classic in the MPD with actual consoles?
Yeah, it's a console.
Why the hell would they do
it? Is
it's a console. Yeah, they count it, man.
Man, see, me personally, I wouldn't consider that a console.
You better have the Ouya up in this bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the Ouya, shout out J Dubs because he loves that thing.
Dubbies.
That thing did terrible. I don't like nobody. Like, here's the thing: that the NES, right? Like that has so many nostalgia thing for people, and then plus,
classic.
What Nintendo did that was absolutely brilliant was they released it in limited supply at first, right?
Yeah.
So now when they have it in plentiful supply, which by the way you can pretty much get it wherever you want now, everybody's like, "Oh crap, I better get it as soon as it comes out." Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I bought one. I told him, but I didn't go in no store. I just ordered it. You know, Fat Kid Deal was like, "Hey, we got one. They're live on Walmart." I ordered one. I got it. I'm like, "Cool." It's still in the box, but I hope to open it one day and check it out and see.
One day.
How much was it, Crap? What is it going for these days?
Like $79 or 69 50. Right. No, that one was 59, I think. The SNES Mini is like 79 or 60.
Yeah, that's the one I have. I was thinking about picking up the NES Classic.
The NES, man. I would get the SNES. I have more. To me, there's better games on the SNES.
That exclusive.
Yeah, for sure. Like I got my SNES Mini hooked up. It's right next to me right now. I love it, man. I think it's pretty kick-ass, but it's like I don't really have a ton to play on it. You know what I mean? Like I don't play it a lot. Yeah. You know, I don't really feel like that nostalgic or anything when it comes to that. I
played it for the first month and then I put it away.
Yeah, I mean that's what.
I love throwback.
Hey, you guys know why Nintendo's winning NPD with that Mini, right? Because they're dropping lawsuits on the ROM makers and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, because they're very strict with that kind of stuff, and you know, to their, I guess, I mean, they own it, so I guess they can do what they want.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird, but if you look back to their history, and like, I love gaming history. Nintendo had a lot of developers, third-party developers by the balls back in the day, right? Like, you were only allowed to develop a certain amount of games per year for the NES.
That's right.
You had to have like this little chip that you had to put in. I mean, some people worked around that, but Nintendo sued them as well.
It was Nintendo certified, man. I remember that label. Yep. I remember that label.
Exactly. So because what happened in the video game industry crashed, and I've kind of gone over this before. Like the Atari, anybody could make a game for the Atari. It's sort of like the Xbox indie games, right? Anybody can make a game for it, right? But back in the day, it was like a dog food brand would make a game, and a soup brand would make a game, right? And so there'd be all these games. Exactly. So you'd see 10 games for $20, and people like families and stuff, parents would go buy the 10 games for $20 instead of the good game for $40. You know, and so basically people were getting a lot of crappy games, and you know, there was no kind of quality control there, and so Nintendo kind of put a stop. I mean, they helped there, but then later on that also cost them because they had such a grip on their developers that when Sony came around, man, and when Sega came around, these companies were quickly on board with those companies because they got to actually do a little bit more games or whatever. So
Crap. Yeah. I gotta say, when it comes to the MPD, I cannot wait until 2020 when the new Xbox comes out, because if they do the forwards and backwards compatibility, that MPD is going to be irrelevant moving forward. It's going to be all about active users. I think that's why they switched that like a couple years back, because that's what they were gearing up for. It's not going to be about the hardware sales. There's already over 50 million Xbox Ones out there.
Well, that's a hell of a users, man. That's a hell of a quote saying 50 million Xbox. I don't know if they're 50 million, but they're
50. I meant 13 million.
Yeah, exactly. That's more like it, man. There's not 50. There's 13. Yeah. Okay, so you got to remember, every time an Xbox One is sold, an angel loses its wings per mooch.
So true.
Mooch. Now, your Mooch is right shirt with the nostalgia stuff with the NES Mini and SNES Mini and all that kind of stuff. But you know, what do you think? I mean, did you play that stuff very much or no?
Well, you talking about the SNES Mini I picked up?
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, it is what it is, folks. You know, I don't just say it for a slogan. It's true. It's because it kind of resembles the past, and it is what we all think. You go home, you have this box in your hand, you're like, I haven't played these games in forever. You plug it in, you play it, and then you're like, now I realize why I didn't play this game in forever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's the same thing with Crash Bandicoot. It's the same thing for Spyro. It's the same thing for all these games. I will say this much. So oddly enough, there's always an anomaly, right, guys? There's always one Neo in the group, right? So in this instance, for me, I gotta say, shout out. I want to give a shout out to where it's due. I was gifted. I woke up the other day. I was gifted a game from our very good friend Def Jam Bam.
Hey, Def Jam, come on, bro.
He hooked me up with Resident Evil 4.
Oh, I already have that.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Well, I didn't have it.
Crappy has it on every system.
I know. So I gotta say, man, it is nostalgia, but I am enjoying it, and I think it's for two reasons. Either I had played that game so long ago, I don't remember shit.
It probably looks much better now, though.
It
right?
looks a lot better. However, let me say this much: if it wasn't for the Elite controller, I don't know how much I would be loving the game, because I use the what is that disc? Let's just call it the disc that you can use on the D-pad. Gives you the full axis, the 45-degree axis turn. That is like almost a necessity. Anyone who's played Resident Evil 4 knows that the controls in that game with this generation's controllers are atrocious, probably even worse back in the day. But that little saucer that we get with the Elite controller has saved the day. But crap, nonetheless, getting back to what it is that these nostalgic games hold a place in our hearts and our memories. And for the most part, I recommend to all you gamers, you keep those sentiments there in the past, because when you go to play them now, it's not that they're not great and they don't hold that same, but you have all these games. We talk about backlogs that we all have in these games that we haven't touched yet, that we bought in the past 3 months. There's all these game sales. Who wants to play Super Duper Castlevania 18? I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, right? You can't sit there and be like, screenshot from my phone. Oh, wait, no, that's Simon Belmont, damn it. You know, I mean, hashtag Simon for life. I don't understand where people are coming up with this.
I think there's certain games that you could definitely go back no matter what. Like, I always go back to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's what I grew up playing. That's my favorite. That's what made me a gamer in a way. So I could always go back, play that for a little bit, do a couple, levels, and then I'm done. And then I'll go play whatever else I want to play. But you could always go back to certain games and always have that feeling of nostalgia. But not every game is like that. A lot of games you go back and you're like, oof, no, this didn't age well.
Well, Fox, I think when it comes down to it, what it is for me is the industry has moved forward. Now we have things like achievements. We have things on the multiplayer side, whether it's just kind of like, putting your score up on the scoreboard and comparing it with friends and stuff. And when it comes to these things, now I want a Super Nintendo Mini. I want that for a couple games that are on there, which is the Link to the Past and Metroid, right?
Super Metroid is great.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you don't have those options there, those features that we're kind of used to, like the scoreboard, any type of multiplayer aspect, and no achievements.
Hell, Nintendo still doesn't have that stuff nowadays,
it makes it feel shallow, man. It really does. No matter how great the game was, you got so much more experience under your belt now from games and features and stuff that have come about in
we're kind of spoiled with that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I feel
definitely.
It's kind of like it's a little shallow now.
When I play the 3DS, sometimes I don't know, what's the blue moon, especially when a hurricane hits.
Tell me about it, right?
Yes, when I play the 3DS, I do wish I was getting Achievos and stuff like that. Believe me.
Hey, trust me, because when the power goes out or some freaky storm, and then Mooch is like, "Crap, move out of Florida," and then he has power outages, and I do the same thing back to him.
I have one power outage in the past 20 years. Crap has one a week. He'll write me on a random Friday. I'm like, "Hey, you excited? Crossfire to be good tonight. Here's some topics." And he'll be like, "Well, I can almost hear him hard breathing." Well, if the power's back, I'll be there, Mooch. I wanna be there. It's almost like your grandfather's traveling in from Virginia. Really want to make it to the birthday party, kids, but
I'd like to. Yeah,
depends on if I can get the old Chevy up and running.
Let me boot this thing up. Yeah, I mean that's no fun, man. Power outages they suck
awful.
for everybody.
They are awful.
But when they do happen,
and I know this is a gaming podcast, but I don't realize why you guys all like to go camping so much. I don't get it. We sat around for like 12 hours, right? We sat around for 12 hours with candles, telling stories and cards. You can only play Uno for so long. What the hell are you guys doing in the woods so long? I'm a city guy. I get it. What the hell's out there?
Hey,
I was
outside,
outside,
man.
I was outside with the flashlight looking for bears like half the night. I'm like, yo, they better not.
Sounds like a blast. Tonight, kids, we're gonna play a game called Survival.
Yeah, survival of the fittest.
Say it with me, Daddy. Why is there a steak on my back? Pay no attention to that, kiddo.
Because you're my favorite. That's
You're my fave.
Dude, I don't even know, man. You know how long it's been since I've camped? Probably 16 years, man. It's been a long time. It's been forever. Yeah, it's crazy.
We'll invite you next year. All right, you can come up.
To be honest, the last time I went, I didn't even have any fun. I was kind of annoying. Yeah, so I don't know. Like maybe I know. Hey,
I've
I'll
never
tell
been
you.
camping.
No.
Yeah. No, never.
Yeah,
I thought about it. Like, I remember when Mel and Xbot went camping, and Mel told me about it, and I was like, "Man, I never been camping. That sounds kind of cool." But then I think about it, and I'm like, "What? Mosquitoes and bears and UFOs? I'm good." Forget it.
UFOs? No, you're good. You're
He just
good.
throws UFOs in there right at the end.
This
Yeah.
isn't Zaire's podcast. We're
Yeah.
good. We don't have any.
Just for fun, just throw it in there.
Like you just have your bear repellent or whatever, and your DEET, which is like your mosquito spray, and you're good to go. But it's not that fun, to be honest with you.
S'mores, all the s'mores you could eat.
Exactly.
You do that in your backyard with a long match.
I'm a city girl. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, it's not good. So I want to move on to this Fable 4 stuff, right? So this interesting website popped up today called Reaver Industries Company. Okay, says it's opening to the public in 2020. So we know Fable's being worked on. We know it. We know it. So this basically Playground Games is working on multiple games. So now it looks like there's a website, reaver.uk, which directs the user to one of 3 pages, and the first brings up the reaver.com House of Reaver. Welcome to the House of Reaver, coming into existence in 2020. Obviously, the owner of this, according to LinkedIn, is called Chips and Gravy, which obviously that would be kind of a joke, a British joke. I didn't say it's a good joke, but hey, it's still there. But on bump, yeah. So there's a couple of different things. We kind of guessed it. This game would probably release 2020. And this could be something to have to do with that. I mean, that's a little bit of an obvious smack in the face because Reaver is I know you haven't played the games, Mooch, for some reason, but he's an enemy in, the third one. I think he helps in the second one.
He is definitely an asshole, like all together.
Yeah. So they were a company during the events of Fable 3. So this could just be a marketing deal, a thing, you know what I mean? Like some kind of viral thing they want. Maybe Microsoft wants us to be talking about it. Like, hey, let's go ahead and get this out there. Idiots like Crapgamer, they'll go out there talking about this nonstop. It'll be great. So it could be that, or it could just be, Mooch set this website up to make Crapgamer look foolish.
I would certainly not have set it up, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't have set it up. That is just an awful name for a developing company. I don't.
well, it's a website, right? Like right. Reaver Industries. So basically, Reaver Industries.
Better off with Vandalay Industries. Vandalay, say Vandalay.
Dude, I'm just saying, but if you follow the series, then that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it is. It's Reaver is from the Fable series.
Right.
So I think that's what we could be seeing here. Or it could just be an elaborate hoax. I don't know. Like just like the Forza Horizon 4 chicken suits. I'm just saying. Those are, chicken suits.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really think we have to play Columbo tonight. Okay, we don't have to put the pieces together. Just one more thing, sir. Is this
one more thing?
This something?
Well, me and you are the only ones that get that.
Yeah, me, you, and Maddie Beast in the chat.
Columbo was awesome. I watched that with my brother.
Oh, you do? Okay, Fox.
Hell yeah.
Another point for her.
A genius.
But I mean, we know Fable's coming, so that's not really what the cat is.
Gaming goes, who is that? He was this great detective, right? And he used to really, and he was real aloof,
Peter
right?
Falk
Peter
was
Falk.
the guy's name.
All I heard was reefer.com, chips
Reaver.
and gravy.
No, listen,
and littering so
he was really basically what he was real aloof with stuff, right? So he would make people always question him, make him think that he was stupid or whatever. And then as he was about to leave, he'd go, "Oh, one more thing," and then he hit him with something, and they would
he was actually very clever.
Yeah,
he
was
would
really
smoke,
clever,
and he had a shitty car.
Yeah,
and he wore the executive every day, a beltless trench coat.
Yeah, exactly. He was bringing beltless trench coats back, and I think that's yes, he was, and what a beast, man! What a beast to be doing that. But go ahead, Mooch, go ahead. Before I so rudely interrupted you.
No, I think you were all right to go off on that spin. I mean, realistically, I think that you go back a year ago, and we think maybe this will happen. Fable's definitely going to come back. Do you think maybe it will be this company, that company? Listen, we know it's Playground. We know Playground's going to break up into another group. That group is probably going to have a name. Right, they're going to have a like a coalition type name, which is better for Microsoft. You want to have more of those like things on your belt notch, right? It's just another name for them to be like, look, we got this studio too. So, I mean, realistically, sitting here and going over like what we're doing is we're reproving the formula, and we already have the formula in front of us. So, realistically, we know it's coming. I don't think that this is Microsoft trying to get people to do buzzworthy stories, because frankly, who the hell is even looking this deep into it? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody. Like
we are.
Yeah. So 7 people are going to be in tune with it that already knew.
Hey, I got to pay the bills. Algorithm Arcade says, "Who's Columbo? I'm a millennial." Go look it up, man. His show's still on,
up, right?
Tim knows who Columbo is, and he's a baby. He's
exactly.
early 20s.
Exactly. So it's a good show. It's probably on cable or something somewhere. You guys can find it. It's an interesting show. He's the same guy. If you guys have ever seen this little bit where he's like, I don't think it's Columbo, it's something else, but he's like, Serpentine, run Serpentine. You've seen it maybe with some PUBG memes where he's running like a snake because they're getting shot at. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
You can look that up too. That's Peter Falk. And
Tonight's brought to you by Nick at Night. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? But at the end of the day, with this whole thing, this whole 2020 thing, we're looking at like new hardware with Scarlet and everything like that coming out. I know, I think we're in the same boat here, where when the new Xbox comes out, their first party lineup for the launch of that system is going to be insane. I'm thinking Fable, Halo, Forza Motorsport 8, and that's just to begin with. So it goes right along with what we're thinking. That's why I'm putting a couple of my eggs in that basket over there, because it seems like they can slowly build up from that.
I like where you went there, X, but at least you stayed realistic. I'm with you on Forza 8, definitely. I do believe Halo would be a launch game for Scarlet, and I think now that you see the pedigree of the people that are getting hired for Fable, that it's going to be something quite magnificent. I will say this much, and I just say this with the concern that we all have and that we've all seen in the past 3 years. The jury is still out on how upper management, the executives, deal with their developers, with their developing first studio teams, and getting games out. So before I sit here and start to say that 2020 is going to be a plethora of video games, because yes, you're right. You're right, Xbot. According to the calendar, everything you said holds water. Okay? Everything you said holds water, except for the fact that you have this lackadaisy, light a candle, everyone gets a participation trophy, and don't worry about it. Even though you finished last, we have a latte for you mentality in Redmond. Okay? And that's the only thing where I don't get as excited. I don't think
that's their core mentality, though. If you look at this generation, they were getting hit from multiple areas, whether it was the media, in terms of resolution and stuff like that in the beginning of this.
I'm not talking about that.
Hold on. But I feel like they had to kind of go in that direction this generation, and I think they're setting up for something a lot more
absolutely
Mooch-esque.
I agree. No, I'm totally buying what you're putting down. I'm buying what you're selling, Xbox. You don't understand. What I'm saying to you, though, is I'm not exactly going to be sitting there with the big foam finger and the fucking sparkler in my left hand quite yet.
It depends on which finger, man. It depends
on
which
right.
finger.
No, it's the pointer finger. I'm with you. I'm just saying to you, he's trying to say flipping him off. But what I'm saying to you is that I think I have my concerns, and they're not grave. danger. I'm just saying that there's concerns here that Microsoft has a problem in leadership of putting their foot down because they're always afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Okay, everything's been delayed since Phil took the helm, and not everything has come out quite as crisp. And I'm not going to go down these rabbit holes, but I'm going to say Crackdown 3 is a disaster. A State of Decay 2,
Crackdown 3,
in my
what's
opinion,
that?
could have been a lot better than it was. I don't care that it's on a small budget. Okay, it could have been better. And Sea of Thieves, even though we'll get into it later, and is doing well numbers wise. Okay, came out a shell of a game, and we're 2 DLCs in, and I guarantee you in another 48 hours, people are going to be like, what DLC? So what I'm saying to you is that
we're going to go through this again.
Oh, we're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. I got all my notes. I mean, my whole thing is this. I realistically, I have a problem with Microsoft's leadership at this point, and I haven't been shown that things are going to go smoothly yet. Now, I hope they do.
Mooch, I hear what you're saying, all right, and I'm not going to tell you not to worry at least a little bit. Like you said, it's
I'm not going to lose
grave or anything like that.
But I mean, yeah.
But you pointing out what I'm thinking is more or less like transition titles going from like the Xbox that didn't really have that development budget into the Xbox that actually has the wallet open. Right. I don't think it's necessarily fair to point to those two games and be like, this is what's going on.
It is great. It's great.
Listen, I got to stop you right there, Xbot, because we sit here and we tell these great campfire stories about
they're great.
About
Did you say great?
Ninja Theory coming out. 9 people and they hovered around the fire 4 days a week to get the game out. And then they came out and they were like, do you remember that one day when we all shared 1 can of tuna fish? I remember that. And they're like, they put out a great game. So they had hard times. These other guys all had hard times. Let me tell you something. The State of Decay 2 folks, the Undead Labs, they were doing a lot better underneath Microsoft's umbrella, even during the hardest times, than the Ninja Theory people were during their times. And they put out a quality game. So my whole point is that not necessarily do I buy this whole like, well, I'm going to give them a 4-year pass because that was the area where they were exchanging executive name tags. No, I'm not buying that. So there was an issue where nobody was putting the foot to the pedal.
But with State of Decay 2, you got exactly what State of Decay fans wanted for that point in time.
Not this State of Decay fan.
Well, okay, except for one.
Except for me, right? Yeah. There's me. There's me alone on a boat. And all of you guys are satisfied.
Any game that comes out, it's not going to satisfy everybody. But from what I've seen from at least the friends that I've talked to and everything like that, when it comes to State of Decay 2, it is a further extension of the first one. It's the multiplayer that they wanted. And now, like, moving on down the line, when they do come out with a number 3, you're hearing rumors of like a big open world, kind of like
I'm sure when they more money and everything, it gets better and better. I'm buying that. I'm just saying, like, Recore, blah, State of Decay 2, blah. You know, and it's like there's just so many games that were like blah, and you're like, okay, fine, but you could have done stuff to make this thing like State of Decay 2. I'm not asking for the game to actually have been any different, but when you go to close a door in a game, I don't want the door to disappear, okay? Or I don't want to walk into where there's not a door. I walk into a door.
That's asking a lot, Mooch.
I know it is. I really know. These are basics, Xbot. These are basic issues. I'm not asking for a revamp of the game. I'm just asking for like little things like that to work when you're underneath a corporation umbrella of Microsoft. And I don't think that was too much to ask.
I think the next one will be.
I really blame I'm not necessarily saying Undead is the one that you should point all your fingers to. I'm saying that when the executives and you guys should read some of these books, okay? Like I said, I've read a few of the books. I read Console Wars. I read what do you call it there? Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And they really get into showing you, especially with Halo Wars 2, they get into it in Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, how they went and they visited 343 and got them going, how all that stuff kind of came about and how the executives show up, even though they're first party and they show up and they still freak people. Like there's an element of like where the executives need to be the boss and not their friends. And I don't know where that starts. And where you got to go back and listen to that Ninja Theory when they were like, we were acquired by Microsoft. And they even said it. They're like, we gave our list of demands. And they're like, we thought Microsoft was going to be like, thank you. Enjoy the parting gifts. We can't do business. And he's like, they gave us everything. And he's like, shit, I even asked for a new tractor. You know what I mean? Like, they gave him the whole boat. And I'm like, where does Microsoft stop being this good guy? And I want them to be a little bit more corporate. I want them to be a little bit more cutthroat. Because you know what that does? It gives you a better product. And that's the way I roll.
With their mentality now, though, and you just said it with Ninja Theory, look at what that acquisition did. Like, once they announced that, there was a huge, everybody was talking about that. So,
right,
you know, that mentality is what got them Ninja Theory. So I want to see how everything plays out before I'm like, man,
yeah, but you know what though, Xbox, let me give you an example. Trophy. Let me give you an example that you will completely understand. Yoenis Cespedes, okay, baseball player, played amazing on every team. He comes to the Mets. The Mets pay him $25 million a year, but the Mets management does not care. You know that because you're a Mets fan like I am.
Didn't they just get beat by a lot?
Thanks, Crap. That's a different story. Can you listen to what I'm saying? Yoenis Cespedes hasn't played. He's played like 3 games this year. Like, that's what happens when you come to an organization that doesn't have something where they don't put their foot down. Okay, you take a great player and they become meh. Okay, so what I'm saying is if you go there and Microsoft acquires them, you're right. They make all this news, all this hullabaloo, and I think it's great. I think it's really great.
Great. Did you say great?
I did say great. So, I mean, I think it is. I think it's great. But, I mean, the whole point of the matter is that where I'm concerned a little bit is I just think that they're not going to push them. And if they don't push them, you get blah. And you know what I mean, Xbox. I think my Cespedes analogy really hits home. You know, that's the problem.
I understood your analogy, but like I think when you open the door to the headquarters of Xbox, I mean, they were aggressive, not even to the right extent, but when it came to Lionhead Studios and the Fable that they wanted, they were aggressive in putting that out there. Bungie a few years back, they left because of the aggressiveness of Xbox, and I just see. They got 5 new studios now. You know, 343 can govern themselves.
I agree, Xbox. They're all great. They're great. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not even being. I agree. I'm not even argue with you.
Hey,
I agree with you.
I gotta pay some bills. Chris Cruel says it's great.
It's great.
He did heavy. Says, what do you think if Scarlet Cloud comes before the Scarlet main console? I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that they're
going to come the same day.
The cloud one might even come after.
Hey, Crap! This isn't this is not a super chat. This is Ermi says too much jibber jabber for Mooch. I'll go back to my smoke signals and my shadow puppets, Ermi, during a talk show.
He's there to talk. I mean, geez, come on. So yeah, I mean, you know, what the hell were we even talking about? Because now I had to.
I think
Scarlet.
Sports
or before that,
sports and Cespedes,
camping,
and his foot odor problem.
State of Decay 2. It's great. No, I mean, look, it's still in the top 20 in the MPD. That's good, I guess.
All right, yeah, right? I like how the MPD every time we talk about State of Decay, we're like, it's still in the top 475. I mean, what's the problem, Mooch? Get with it.
Well, Salty, what do you think about this Reaver Industries site? Anything do you not care about Fable? Are you a Fable fan?
Not really a Fable fan, but you know, I think you know it has merit. All I can think about is Reaver. Sorry. Next question.
What about you, Foxy? Are you into Fable at all? Anything, you know, does this interest you or no?
Okay. So I'm not really into RPG games, but I do appreciate Fable games a lot. I think they're hilarious. I watch my friends play it, my brothers play it. So I mean, this would be a cool thing. But yeah, not for me.
No? Wow.
I feel at home on this panel.
That's damn it. Like, yeah, what if
Sorry, Crap. Now you're on the boat. Now you're on a boat by yourself.
No, Fable's awesome, and I can't wait to see it come back.
Exactly.
I'm on the K2 boat. Yeah. You're on the Fable boat.
Well, speaking of that, this would have been a segue 20 minutes ago before you were, what were you, rambling, Mooch? What do you say you were rambling?
Jibber. Too much jibber jabber.
Yeah, too much jibber jabber. Playground Games hiring people from Guerrilla Games, Ninja Theory, Batman Arkham, Metal Gear, GTA 5, and more for their new unnamed Fable RPG that they're working on. I mean, what do you think about this, Mooch? Because you were like pretty impressed by that list, right?
Which one, buddy? I'm sorry, I was typing the.
Okay, so Mooch.
Sorry. I'm keeping the audience pleasant.
Jibber jabber. Playground Games hires people from Guerrilla Games, Ninja Theory, Batman Arkham, Metal Gear, GTA 5, and more
saying. Yes.
for their new RPG.
I'm
game.
impressed.
Are you impressed though? Are you like? Do you actually feel now that Microsoft is like trying to do something that they hadn't been doing for a few years?
Again, tell the devs what to do.
I'm going to say, thank you. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say what I just said. It's two parts to your question, okay? I feel like Rodney Dangerfield at the end of freaking Back to School. Hey, well, one question in 27 parts. Listen, the problem is, right? The answer to your question is yes, I'm very impressed that they're going out there and spending the money. They're doing what we wanted them to do. So everything they're doing there, I think, is fantastic. The issue, again, is what Xbox just kind of chimed in, kind of shadowing what I was saying, is that it is an issue where now you bring in these big league guys, right? Like we had Casey Hudson. You guys all forgot we had Casey Hudson on the Microsoft payroll. You know what he did? He brought in like low fat milk and creamers for people. Like if you bring in talent and don't give them anything to do, they don't do shit. So my whole thing is I do think Playground Games, though, has a pedigree. Okay, yeah. I think they are very good. Their games are always exquisite. We know that their games have kept Xbox One afloat this generation. So I think that them getting a hold of this is these individuals is fantastic. I think it's great for us gamers. But again, I would just like to see, I'm more excited than Crap, even though he's a Fable fan more than I am. I'm more excited to see how Fable's going to look when they present it on stage next year.
Hey, Luca, I got to pay the bills. She says, this is me looking for attention.
Great.
Well, you got it, Luca. We were all getting around to it, saying hi. I appreciate everybody that's here. Please hit that like button. Maybe we can get to 200 likes. Hi. How you doing, Luca? I almost asked you to be on the show tonight, but I thought maybe you wouldn't want to do 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, because originally, like I was gonna have people.
People were telling me last week's show, because you had Luca on, like everybody was waiting for me to join, so this way we can have our family discussions that we usually have.
Yeah, I mean that would have been great. We had the Don on, and everything went really well. I thought it was, I asked him to come on this week, but he was busy. But he said next week. If I vote for him in the gameplay thing, so
wow. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to,
mooching votes right
I'm
there.
Gonna have to vote for him, man. What can I say? This is pretty cool. Battlefield 1 gets a 4K update finally on the Xbox One X, and it looks great. Mooch, you can't wait to dive in. I know.
Hold on, let me put $1 into this machine. Look at that. Day late and $1 short. All right. Who the heck cares? That game, that game is awful. And I feel bad. I really feel bad that everyone that did enjoy it had to wait this long for that 4K update.
Yeah,
thank you, Mooch. Thank you, Mooch. I appreciate that.
Sorry. Yeah, I talked about it on REX yesterday. It took them a long time to get this 4K update. They had to focus on getting it right. They had to get the detail just right for that trash. You got to see it in detail.
You want to see the fumes coming up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
When did Battlefield 1 become trash? Like, I don't remember this, man.
Trust me, it is.
Yeah.
Trust me.
There is a huge player base out there, and like Mooch said, day late and $1 short, but for the fans out there, you finally.
I don't think so.
Yes, every time I play Conquest, there's a lot of people in there.
When I was playing it took like forever to get into a match, and the player base was split up because they had their DLC that you had to pay for. And there's no customization.
Right there. Split player base.
There's very little. The gameplay just doesn't feel like Battlefield to me. We could get into it, but it's trash to me.
I can agree with that. It doesn't feel like Battlefield. It is a different kind of Battlefield, but it's still a good game. It's still people playing it. But I am very disappointed that they took this long. I mean, it didn't stop me.
Wart from the chat. I just saw that bill.
Hold on, I gotta. Worry Wart says Destiny sucks. Mooch. What's your rebuttal to that, Mooch?
My rebuttal is it's great. And myself and Xbot, shout out to who else was there? Redux, Nox, a bunch of guys yesterday. We raided last night.
What was this guy here? Hey, what's up? He wasn't there. Mooch, you're my life. You're the reason I exist.
I love Destiny, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the whole idea that it's the only game that like you literally can say that Mooch. It's a great game that always brings people back together. It really, really is. I don't know. There's no other game thus far this generation that I know across platforms, across I don't know, different titles. Nothing really gets people to come back together, and this game is great.
Well, sure. I don't know, man. Like Destiny 2, is it great? I'm not really sure that it's great. I don't think that it's a. I don't think. I don't think it's a failure, Mooch, but I definitely don't think
it's definitely not a failure. Shit, I'd like to fail like that.
Well, hell, me too.
Is that the tallest skyscraper in the city? Yep, you failure.
Dude, there is no way that's the tallest skyscraper.
There is millions of players on Destiny 2 right now. They have a whole bunch of content. You got DLC right around the corner. Let's face it, people. Destiny 2 is here to stay. It is not dead. It is alive and kicking. And people out there just got to accept it. It's there. It's a good game, and people like playing it. I mean, I know I'm one of them, and that's what I'll be doing as soon as I'm done with this show.
I'm sorry, Xbot. I kind of phased out there for a second.
You got your
smelling salt.
Look on your face.
It's relevant. It's relevant until it falls off again, and then
well, the DLC again. Right. That'll be a cool 2 days when the DLC comes out, and people play it a little bit. But I want to talk about a game that
doesn't know Mooch.
I want to talk about a game that's relevant right now, and that's Sea of Thieves.
Wow, yeah. Hold on, let me get a gallon. Hold on, let me get a gallon of water.
Hold on. Sea of Thieves. They announced over 5 million players. Wow. I mean that's a huge, that's a megaton of players, Mooch. Yeah. Cursed Sales, the new DLC that's out. People are talking about it, man. People are all about it. Joining up, playing with people, having a good time.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone that's played that this week said the exact opposite as you today.
Alan Savage.
And I retweeted everybody.
Alan Savage. Man,
Alan Savage, you are the man.
Is this Craps channel this week? Holy crap, people are showing me the love. I feel special.
I like Worry to show me some support like that.
Yeah, Worry, man. Where you been, man? I don't see Worry on Twitter anymore, man.
He's here. He's around.
He came here to talk about Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny. Yes. Wait, I agree 100% with Worry, though, man. Destiny 2 does suck. Sense. But go ahead, Mooch.
Well, I mean, listen, like I said, and listen, we'll have, instead of just like going off irately, just there's different categories to discuss in the Sea of Thieves discussion. If we want to sit here and talk about successful for Microsoft, successful for user base numbers, whatever they're using now is instead of using sales of actual digital sales or physical sales. If we're talking about actual user base, this is a successful game. It's doing what Microsoft wanted the game to do. As far as player base being happy with it, again, I retweeted about 5-6 people that are Pirate Legends today that all played. No, you can him and haul all you want, crap. You're basically a novice at the game. You're where I'm at.
I'm way higher ranked than you. I'm 30s across the board.
Congratulations. I'm 30, 20, 20. You're 30, 30, 30. Wowee. Listen, I mean, it's not a big deal. Trust me.
No, hold on. I know the people you're talking about. You're talking about Assassin and Clowns.
Clowns and Jez, the only part Rare, and he said that a lot of the DLC is just not appealing because of the way that they're building the game structure.
Now here's the thing. I saw what Clowns and Assassin were complaining about. They don't like being forced to meet other people not in their party. Like
that's a you issue, right? Moose?
Yeah, like that seems like
I don't know about that. So
I think it is. To be honest with you, no,
because they were saying
they made it in a way where you can make alliances in the game, and it's not that hard if you message someone on Xbox that you can find people out there. They've structured it in a way where you go to the flag, it will tell you if the ships are there.
People text each other on opposite sides of the couch these days, dude. Don't tell me all of a sudden I'm going to go out there and start shaking strangers' hands on the open seas.
You raid in Destiny and you meet new people all the time, right? So
Very
it's not
rarely.
that hard. They have the group section.
Yep, they
find
do.
a group.
I've
Xbox.
never used it, but yes.
Well, I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very easy. It depends on how much you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
let me ask you a question. You're a fan, right? Have you played the new DLC?
I went in there and I didn't play it right. We didn't know what was going on. Time ran out. I had shit to do, but I'm going to get into it tonight.
Well, no, and it's not really to give you a report card on whether you. My point is that a lot of the people, and Crap's actually the main focus. This isn't you, Salt, because me and you've only had 2 discussions on it. Me and Crap have had literally 2 in the past 2 hours. We DM'd
each other this morning about it, for 30 minutes.
You know, Crap is literally like the Johnny Cochran of fucking Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
you know, he's just like, if it don't fit, must have quit. And I'm like, listen, okay,
so,
go ahead,
real quick. If you want to compare the situation, like the DLC, it's an event is what this is, because this is going to go away after a while. You get exclusive gear.
Yes.
You can compare it kind of
to this, like,
to
Solstice
the raids in Destiny, and the fact that you have to group up.
Solstice.
You have to group up, because I don't know in the Solstice that you have to actually find a big group to take on these end game events.
Well, he means the event.
True.
What
the event that goes away is what I meant.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a combination of both things, because that's how Rare is tackling the game, because they want it to be kind of prestigious. Hey, it's a hard thing to do. You got to take on these, skeleton crews, and then you get this loot at the end, and it feels good. So if you're not all about making friends or even trying to put the effort in, it's kind of like a raid in Destiny. If you don't like trying to meet new people, you're not going to raid. You can't do it by yourself.
So let me use your example, and I actually commend you. I think that was a very good analogy. But I know a lot of people that have played Destiny for well over 1,000 hours that have never raided. And for the main reason that you just said, right? You gave a good example. They don't have, no. But I mean, but my point being, right? They haven't raided. And the thing about the game is there's a lot of other things for those people to do. Here's the problem with Sea of Thieves. The minute you take out the fact, and I'll buy what you're putting down. Okay. You said, if that's a me problem, right? I don't want to go ahead. You don't want to extend the olive branch to meeting strange pirators out there and doing that. That's fine. That's a me problem. But now that I say I don't want to do that, guess what I get? I get another 3 to 4 months of nothing. Great for me. So now you are a raider. You're a Destiny guy now, Salt, which you are. And you say, I don't want to raid, dude. Sorry, I don't have 6 people I can get with on a Tuesday night. That's just not my bag. Guess what? They've got other shit that came out this week and all the way through that continuously keeps you active and busy. This game is continuously just a shell of a game that if you're not doing these small little things that they put together, and then they come together, we are in the generation of options too, Salt. To come out and say, this is how we mandate you play, that's not where we're at. I'm with you. And the age that we're in, the age that me and you are at, in our lives, I'm in the age where when we were told what to do, you do what you're told, right? I get that. And that's the way it was, and that's the way it's set up. I have respect for that. I really do. I have respect for Rare. I have respect for what you said. But ultimately, at the end of the day, in the generation of options that we're in right now, where people are driving down the street with the air conditioning on and the windows down, okay, right? That's the option. Like before, people in the 80s would be like, that person's ludicrous. Now they're like, hey, not a bad idea. Let me try it. So this is the whole thing, right?
That?
Who knows?
But
that's the problem I have.
I can tell you that much.
Mooch, what I want to add to that is if you get into the game, which I did, you notice differences. Like you can customize your pirate. It's totally different when you get into the menu. You can change the color of the hair, the way it's done. The NPCs are in different places. There's different items for sale. There's different enemy types, which I said that they need. Like there's a skeleton that grabs a barrel of gunpowder and like rushes you like he can blow himself up, it killed me multiple times. So that kind of changes the dynamic of the game. This game it's way different from Destiny, and Destiny.
Well, it shouldn't be compared.
It has that paid DLC model. So every time
you get what you pay for,
you're paying for that content because they had that live team that they specifically talked about.
Agreed.
The microtransactions in that game, the Eververse company goes towards that live team, so they can give you those those events like the Solstice thing that's going on.
Oh yeah.
So with the Sea of Thieves situation, I agree with you. The fact that they need to target the single player, they need to find a way to engage that audience because up to this point they focus solely on teaming up and doing these events, because the Megalodon event, you had to find other people.
Yep.
This event, you have to find other people. So they need to find a way to get those single players.
And I like the. Oh, go ahead, Foxy.
No, I was gonna say they had the one in between where you would go underwater and find the statues of the mermaids and stuff. I mean, you could do that by yourself, but it does get repetitive and boring. I do like
that's
playing
like if
Sea
you
of
woke
Thieves
up
with my
tomorrow
friends.
and I was like, Foxy, do me a favor. I hid like 15 eggs in your backyard. Have at it. And when you're done, make me some scrambled eggs. You'd be like, what the hell?
Oh, I want scrambled eggs.
You know, my whole thing about it is that like I think Salt nailed it. The problem I have with this game is ultimately when you take away and here's what's interesting. Now that Salt said it, it reminded me because I read the article. This is a limited time DLC too. Yeah. It's going away.
Aren't the ghost ships going to still be around though?
Yeah. So what I've heard is like basically when events are over, they leave some of the content back. So like the Megalodons, when we were selling randomly because we didn't know what we needed to do to trigger the event, the Megalodon just randomly was beside us and we're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We thought we were going to get attacked, but you know, the Megalodons are swimming in the ocean now. So they leave these assets behind, you know? So, you know, you don't get that gear that's going to be during the event, but it adds to the environment, the world,
game,
right?
Yeah.
I think that's again, and that's great. But I mean, at the same time, realistically, I want to, and let me just break it down because Salt, I'm literally just going to regurgitate what you just said back, and I want you to hear it. Yeah. You were like, well, Mooch, hear me out. You're like, here's the thing. You can change your hair color. You can change your hairstyle.
No, but
some of the things that are in the DLC that's not there, they're going to keep some of the aesthetics, the palm trees. Then you told me that they have 3 different types of skeletons that attack me. Here's my thing. The problem I have with all that is at the amount of money, time, and resources that are going into this game, you have to admit that those 3 things that you said to me, they don't equal a pile of beans.
No. For you, because you're a Destiny fan.
Why is that? It has nothing to do with Destiny. It has nothing to do with Destiny. I'm playing Fallout 4 right now. I'm playing No Man's Sky. I'm playing
Fallout.
Resident Evil 4.
Let me explain. All right. It's going to make sense. Trust me. So basically, you like the games that are grindy, right? You like the RPG elements. You get levels. You progress. Right. It's grindy. You like that element, too. Right? It's grindy in a different way because Sea of Thieves, you can hop in with your friends. They don't have a light level that locks you behind. You could do a mission, hop in, hop out. Like Destiny, that's not the case. If you get behind, you can't do a raid. You got to level up. You got to, you know, do your weeklies, your, you know, this and that. In this game, it's, you know, it's for the casual. It's targeted towards the casual. And that's why it's hard for you to catch, you know.
You're right. Okay. No, Salt makes a good point, and you know what? I'm going to roll with that, Salt. But here's the thing, though, Salt, and it depends on how, I guess, if we're sitting here doing the podcast and we're going to talk about literally a global thought, and sometimes I like to do that. I like to do what you just said. This is for the casual gamer, this, that, and the other thing. But realistic, sometimes I like to think, I don't like to think just for me. I like to think of the audience, right? The people that tune in, like, you know, I don't know, 10, 12,000 people at the end of the week listening to Xbox Nation. Like, maybe more, I don't know. But my point being is that, like, I'm trying to think of the masses. And the masses of the people that are listening to this show, okay, are people that play video games more often than the usual casual Joe Blow, okay? So when we sit here and we discuss the games, yes, I know what you mean because, like I said, my kids and their friends, for the first month it came out when they got the $9.99 Game Pass, right? Their friends, all their parents bought a month of Game Pass. They all have not gone back to it, but I'm not using that census pool. I don't think that's the say-all end-all metric. It's not. So what I'm saying to you, though, is that, like, this is just a game that I think could have actually reached more of a substantial hardcore base if they did do maybe a few of the things like you said. They don't have to be as stringent and strict as Destiny with the light levels. Like you said, oh, you're not this light level, you can't compete. And I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you, because a lot of you guys are hating Destiny and you don't play it. Let me say this much.
Don't knock it till you try it.
A, that. B, okay, you can participate in raids and events if you're underpowered. You just can't be extremely underpowered. Okay. So, and let me tell you something. That's the same thing as I told you a couple weeks ago when we had this discussion. You know, you pull up to a car that has the same chassis as you, but one's a V6 and the other one's a 4-cylinder, right? You can't get pissed off. The other guy, he paid more for his car. Right? So you're pissed that he's going to be able to go faster than you? No. If you don't put the work, the money, the effort, the time into it, then you can't play the game. That's the way that business model was developed. Right? So that's my whole thing with that. I don't understand why people hold that against Destiny because that's like, we just defended Sea of Thieves because they're like, that's how they wanted to make it. Well, this is how Destiny wanted to make it. So like they're two different business models. I personally think one is better than the other. That's a personal preference. I'm not saying that's for everybody. But at the same time, I think Sea of Thieves missed an opportunity. And I'll say this to Salt, because me and Salt and you too, Xbot, we probably would have played this game a little bit more if it did have that little bit of the grind with a purpose.
Destiny scratches that itch for me. But here's the thing. I think, Mooch, when it comes down to it with Sea of Thieves, we're missing one of the biggest points when it comes to this game. You don't like it now, right? If you don't like it now, you don't want to go in and play now, that's fine. There's millions of people playing right now that are keeping the game moving, and they're going to keep adding content to it. Now, I do agree that they can't just force people to come together with other people. I think they need to expand in terms of that content and to make it more about your crew in certain instances and stuff like that. But they're going to continue to make the game more. They're going to continue to evolve it and stuff like that. If you don't like it now, that's fine. Wait like 3 months and then try it and see what's going on.
Here's the problem I have. Here's the problem I have with what you're saying.
Game Pass.
And I'll use. It doesn't matter. PUBG. No, PUBG is a great example. PUBG was going up by the millions every month, and they did what you just said. They got people working on it. Don't worry about it. It'll get better. Don't you worry about it. And then PUBG kind of fizzled out a little bit, right? What I'm saying with Sea of Thieves is, since Sea of Thieves does have a predominantly younger audience and a casual audience, the rate that they're giving the content and the content that's actually coming out, okay, the people that are diehard, not me, Salt, Crap, you, nobody on this panel, Foxy, none of us, the people that are playing that game diehard have changed hairstyles 27,000 times already. Okay, they've already fought those 3 different types of skeletons. So my point being is, when they have a DLC that comes out for 3 weeks and they added another skeleton and a different hairdo, like, trust me, what happens is they're becoming very, very, they're resting on their laurels. And the problem with that is, eventually you're going to see, yes, it is going up right now, but it's also Game Pass's biggest lure. Okay, once Game Pass is
Forza Horizon 4,
when Forza Horizon 4 comes in there, they're going to be like Sea of Hooves.
Sea of what?
No, I think people that are drawn to Sea of Thieves are going to keep playing that no matter what.
I don't.
Here's the deal, Mooch. There's plenty of people out there that are pirate legends. You even quoted a couple of them.
Yep.
Like, would you ever think about doing that? No, you wouldn't want to grind this game to the point where you
would
get
just
up to
like a
When it
reason.
first came out, we were like, we want to be a legend.
Well,
yeah, but those guys did it and they enjoyed it and they enjoyed the process. So we can't knock what they enjoy. It's just with Sea of Thieves, they've hired more people and split up new teams. So it's going to take time to get more content
that's my
out
problem,
frequently.
Salt.
You know what I'm saying?
The time might kill it.
It's in Game Pass. Sorry. It's in Game Pass, so the player base will always come back if you put the content in there. Because just like me, I don't play it regularly, but these DLCs are drawing me back into the game. If it wasn't the case, this game would die off, because they need to have it like this. If it's more frequent and they leave those assets in there, the game is going to expand. Just look at, No Man's Sky, for example. That game was absolute trash, right, in the beginning. And then they kept updating it, and then finally we got Next, and then just look at the reviews of this game 2 years out. So that's a 2-year cycle. I think,
but the game went away.
Has those legs. People were still playing it though, and these devs they were. There was still a player base.
There were people playing. Yeah, so you guys always speak in these. You guys always use. It's interesting in podcasting. I've been doing it a while. So like, you guys are like, well, there was always somebody playing it. And if I say no, you're like, well, come on. There was somebody playing it. His name was Jimmy. He lives in Illinois.
Yeah,
and it's like, I understand that you're right. You guys always discuss in absolutes, okay? You guys are always like, is there a guy that was playing? Yes, there were people that were playing. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that No Man's Sky, using your example, disappeared for a solid 2 years. Does that mean nobody played it? No. But it disappeared from everything. Existed. Sean Murray's Twitter disappeared. Didn't have a tweet for 2 years.
Well, Salty's saying it developed.
He's saying
a cult following
back,
of
but
like
they came back and
people.
basically made a new game.
So
what Sea of Thieves is doing is it's dribbling you this nonsense every 3 months, and I think it's going to lose people.
What I say about this, Mooch, is if a game like that could get slammed by everybody, the media, for lying, for refunds. If a game like that's not supported by a Game Pass, that's not getting funds continually, can make it back and be this media darling and get blown up in the media like it did just for updating its game, then just imagine what Sea of Thieves can do with this flow of income from Game Pass and then Microsoft.
So what you're saying in other words is what you're saying in other words is anything that's in Game Pass and anybody who's just a really nice person has a good chance of blowing up in Game Pass.
I mean, if it's a game as a service model that is sponsored specifically by Microsoft, it's a first-party game.
Why does it have to be Microsoft? I think No Man's Sky would do well in Game Pass.
If they were funded by Microsoft,
I don't think they have to be.
No, they don't.
They don't.
It is what it is. The Game Pass model, it's just like it's not focusing on one game. It's giving all these games a chance to do well and sell well. And specifically Sea of Thieves, that's why I keep touching on it. It's not my favorite game, and I'm not like defending it tooth and nail, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a pirate legend and I'm damage controlling. I just see what it could be
there you go, Salt. And I like what you said right there. And that's where I'm trying to drive home. And I feel like I finally got you on the stand to say what I wanted. That's what you want it to be, and that's the problem. It's not.
I got to agree.
And that's it. You just said it.
Salty though, man.
Well, hey, let me.
I agree with Salt, and that's the thing. Salt said what was on his chest, and that's the truth of the matter. And that's where I'm at. I'm actually where Salty's at. This
Z Black Rider. I did tell Mooch that Sea of Thieves was one in the UK. He told me something about biscuits.
Yeah, you guys also. You guys still also eat fish and chips as a #1 takeout. Like, that's gross. So what I'm saying is
he said something about biscuits were their dessert.
I said no cookies. Stale cookies is the dessert. Because I know someone from England. They're like, Mooch, you got to try these, and he sent them over. He's my buddy of mine, and I'm like, dude, they're like stale cookies. He's like, they're delicious. I'm like, when were they made? Like 2 years ago. World War II? But anyways.
The thoughts of Mooch does not affect everybody in this country.
Yes, they do. Anyways,
we love the UK. We love the UK.
Yeah. The UK people are great.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Send out your sympathy cards after the show. Listen, my whole thing is, but I want to get back to what Salty was saying. What Salty said that was true was he was like, and that's what we want it to be. And I thought that was a good point because that's actually where I'm at. I want to like this game. I think it's probably the best art design. I think it's got the best fluidity, right? It's got an amazing team behind it. I think Craig Duncan's a genius and a great leader. I just think that for some reason, at some point or another, I don't know where, I didn't work there, and nor will I just think that they lost sight of what they were doing as far as content and how they were providing it, because at the end of the day, it just seems very empty. And that's not coming from a casual or a hardcore. It comes from a person that likes to play video games.
Mooch, my biggest issue with Sea of Thieves right now is the fact that when the DLC comes out, even though they leave part of it there, it's all limited time. Now, I understand they were going to do limited time events, but they were also talking about like content coming and staying there.
Yeah, weeklies.
And we thought it was going to be a lot more than pretty much what they're giving out right now. I think that's the major issue, but it's not anything that cannot be fixed. Now, when it comes to what Salty's saying, I agree with him on the whole Game Pass thing. It's there, it's supported, people are playing it, and it's going to continue to grow. That's why I said, if you don't like it now, chime back in 3 months and then see what happens.
If you want to talk about a game being truly successful, here's where I like to think about this. No, think about this mentally, okay? If you're Rare now, okay, me, Xbot, and Salt, if the three of us are Rare, and we made this game, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into it, I would want to know that this game would do well without Game Pass as well as with Game Pass. And that goes to what the No Man's Sky thought was a second ago. A game that got crashed, smashed, burned, okay, goes away for 2 years, comes back to glorious applause and great ratings. Does it without a games as a service and basically kills it. Then you put it in Game Pass. Other games
have done that too. But go ahead.
Yeah, but we're talking about Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, you take out a Game Pass, and I'm telling you right now, you got a big leak in the boat. It's a big problem. And if you guys want to use Game Pass as the crutch, of course you do.
Let me chime in, guys.
Go ahead, Crap. Yeah, let Crapgamer in. Let Crapgamer in, and not the baseball announcer.
Testing.
Is he on the PlayStation mic?
I was there. Here's the thing, right? It did good. It sold better than what they projected it to sell. Like the sales numbers were phenomenal for the game. The sales, not Game Pass. I'm sure Game Pass did great. But exactly. But the fact of the matter is, they've said it's outdone the sales expectations in every single way. They're hiring still, and they've broken up to 4 different teams working on to do content. Now, the content that they're adding now, the weeklies or whatever, I don't think of that as the big content, quote unquote. The big content, the one with the pets or whatever, that is the one that I think a lot of people are waiting for, right?
I'm just chopping at the bit.
Yeah, well, you're not a fan of the game. It's not your. It doesn't seem like it's your bag. It's like Sea of Thieves to
Crap,
you.
Did you hear your salesman? If you were a salesman right now, you'd be broke.
I wouldn't be.
You're
broke,
like everyone's waiting for the pets.
I think a lot of people. No, I think a lot of. It's not just that. There was a lot of other things coming with that one.
Yeah.
Right. There was a lot of stuff. Chris, that's another. It's all great, man. He's $2 in his way to greatness. I'm telling you.
Greatness. No, but I meant by not being a good salesman. You're like, if you're gonna tell us about that one, I mean, the pets. Like, I don't remember Johnny Depp in any of those movies with a pad.
Well, no, dude, you're talking about a movie compared to this.
I'm talking about pirates. Pirates and pets.
Yeah,
not
but
the same
they're adding the big update. The big update. Remember, they weren't going to do an update for the first 6 months or so. Remember, it was like 5-6 months or something.
And let me tell you something. We're still not getting that big update for 6 months. These are 2 little itty-bitty ones.
Yeah, probably, but they are giving us content, and it was so much content, I couldn't even get in the game.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying, I couldn't get in the game. I got cinnamon beard errors and stuff like that.
Great.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. That was what Crap said to me this morning. He goes, I go, did you play yet? He goes, well, I couldn't get in. The server didn't work. It says cinnamon beard. I'm like, oh, that's great. Maybe that's what the devs intended.
No, look, it just shows that a lot of people were trying to get on the game.
Yeah, okay.
Look, that game is not for everybody, but I find it to be kind of relaxing and fun.
Sure. So it's a crossword puzzle.
No, crossword puzzles aren't fun at all.
Not like this, Mooch. Not like this.
Hey, listen, I got news for you. I don't look at. And don't get me wrong. I think every one of you have made good pictures, except for Crap. And I mean, Crap made one of the worst sales pitches I've heard. But nonetheless, I think that it realistically, it does have a place in people's hearts. It's not going anywhere because, like Salt said, it is under the Microsoft umbrella. And the funds are flowing right now. They are literally flowing. And I think that like you said, you have a casual fan base that's willing to stick it out and play the game as DLC comes out. And don't get me wrong, there are the hardcore, like some of you in the chat and some of you guys that are here on the panel that are saying, I can't wait. I saw Salt. Salt goes, I can't wait to play it. And I can't sit here and say Salt does not want to play it. Of course he wants to play it. My thing with Salt is that I think after I'll give him a week, I think he's done. And I think there's no looking back. Well, and that's the part that makes it hard to say it's great.
For me personally, right? Like people go back into these type of games when they add content. Like supposedly, Ghost Recon Wildlands is more populated now than ever. Rainbow Six Siege more populated now than ever. Supposedly, The Division. A ton of population.
a lot of Ubisoft games.
Yeah, because they do the games as a service model a lot as well. So. I did the same thing with Destiny. I go back and I play Iron Banner or the Faction Rally whenever I feel like it. I'll go back and I'll do that. But no way in hell am I comparing Destiny to Sea of Thieves.
No.
Sea of Thieves is a whole animal in itself. If you want to be living that pirate life, if you want to be on a boat with your friends shooting shit, like drinking and throwing up on each other, doing those events, then you're gonna have a good time. Every time I jump in there with Scrotum, his wife, and Tim, I always have a blast. But I'm not a giant fan of Sea of Thieves. I just like playing it with them. Hell no, I'm not playing that game by myself. I think it's actually kind of boring. But playing with my friends, it makes it even better because you're going to the different locations with them. You're reading off the map. Somebody's like dropping the anchor. Somebody's driving. Like there's multiple things to do. And I think that's the whole point of Sea of Thieves. Is like, hey, I want to be a pirate today. I want to have fun, and I want to like kick ass, these skeletons or the fucking shark, the megalodon or whatever. I already tried the new stuff, and I think it's really cool. It scared the shit out of me when this boat rose out of the water, and then these skeletons started shooting at us, and I had to go down there and fix the boat while the guys were shooting and driving. It was crazy, but it was fun. And no, we didn't beat them. We died.
Well, no, it is a fun game.
Yeah.
Like Mooch has had fun on it. I know
because this weekend.
It's fun, but you got to explain the fun though. Crap, the fun was actually the 4 people, the 3 people besides myself, and all of us cracking jokes and having a good time.
Well, same thing with No Man's Sky. We played No Man's Sky the other day. We had fun because my dumbass got lost a million miles away.
I got to be honest with you. I've now played, and shout out to some of the great people, including yourself, Crap, that we've all played. I played with was there Boogeyman was on there. You. Manny Tattoo. Yeah, he's great. He taught me a lot of shit. But I gotta tell you something, in all honesty, right hand to God, as far as No Man's Sky goes, I'm really glad that they gave the multiplayer option. But that's a game I truly enjoy to play. I like to play that solo. I really do.
Are you serious? I don't know if I
played it for 2 hours last night, and I had a freaking field day.
Mooch, I'm right there with you. I did a review of the game.
I watched your review. Good review.
The co-op is interesting, but it just feels like it's kind of pointless to me in a sense. I know there's missions and stuff you can do together, but a lot of times you're just kind of doing your own thing. You know?
Yep, so, exactly. And I just liked it. I liked it because you know what? A lot of people, Xbot being one of them, early on in the YouTube career, Xbot used to always do like his Forza stuff, and he'd be like, I like to blast my music and blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, Forza, but I'm not a Forza guy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that's cool that you found a game like that. What's really great about No Man's Sky is like you don't have to listen to the game. You can play music. You can have if you have like your iPad and you have something else like a show or this and that, blah, blah, anything. I don't give a shit what you like to do. Like that's the thing. No Man's Sky is truly something you can do. Keep busy, get shit accomplished, feel good about it, progress in the game, and do other things. I like that kind of shit. I think that's why as I grew up, I enjoyed baseball as my primary sport because you could watch a baseball game on television and get like 85 other things accomplished because it's the slowest game in the world, right? So that's why I don't talk people into baseball. I'm like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I get it. But No Man's Sky is a game you can get your own pace. You enjoy it. And Saul, I'm glad you agreed with me. Thank you. Because I didn't know how the panel would respond to it. Even though they've added that element of multiplayer, which I think is great. Again, shout out to Boogie and Manny Tattoo who joined us. And it was fun. I've had a lot of fun with the people who've joined. But the minute they leave, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm done. All right, bye.
Time to go to a raid.
Time to play alone. I want to play. I want to kind of get into it and just venture off and like just I don't know. For some reason, I think No Man's Sky really perfected the bugs, glitches, issues, the space travel, the building. They've perfected enough of that part of it to keep me enthralled for the single player.
I find it boring single player. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. I liked it much better. Just playing with you guys, you know what I mean? That was kind of fun. As you saw what happened if I do shit myself, I get lost.
Yeah, you do get lost.
I was just stranded. I know, I was stranded in space.
Albuquerque.
Yeah, I was stranded in space, a million miles away. No, I ran out of fuel. So, yeah, I mean, if it was, yeah, you guys did. It was great. So, I am happy for that.
Great game.
It is like, and it looks amazing on the X. Like, surprised me. Thankfully,
it does.
We mooched.
Yes.
It. So.
Yes.
Yeah,
huge thank you to that individual because to be honest with you, like I said, the crap, I'm like, dude, and Saul, you talked about it in your review too, Saul, about the 50 versus 20. And I've been harping on it myself. That's a problem there. Okay. I got an issue with that. I still do. As much as I like the game, that's a big discrepancy for me because it's the same goddamn game, people. I understand it's new to the Xbox, but it's still an old game. Like you can't do that. You can differentiate it by 10, maybe for a while. But 30? Come on. Yeah. So I said the crap, before I'd gotten it gifted, I said, I think I'm going to go pick it up for the PS4 because I said I can get it new for $19 or used for like a bag of Funyuns. So I was like, I'm like, I'll go and I'll trade in a couple of beer caps and a thing of Doritos and I'll get this game. And he goes, dude, don't. And I'm like, why? He's like, it's, and I've watched enough reviews, so I know already. He's like, it's way better on the X. And I'm like, it is. And then luckily it came through. But I'm saying, like, my point being is that it is a game you got to experience. Is it a game for everybody? Absolutely
not. There's no such thing as a game for everybody, though. So,
well, we got to reiterate that often.
Chris says still trying to mooch a copy of No Man's Sky. Hey, it was difficult.
That was
difficult. It was a very tough mooch. I got
Assassin's Creed in 6 hours. This thing took like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, and some crap gamer help, by the way.
Yeah, it did take a little crap help. It did.
Because I boosted it first, right? I
boosted it first, man. The problem is what we were talking about crap before you even got it was because the issue with this game was people are having a hard time buying a $50 game that's basically an indie game
that you can play for $8, but you can get it. I bought it on the PS4 for $8. And here's the thing, and people gave me shit for saying this. I said the Xbox One X helped save this game, and people are like, "You're so full of it, crap. You're wrong. They saved it. They saved it themselves." I was like, "You don't understand. This game,
crap gamer.
You're crap gamer." Basically, what happened is this: nobody was talking about this game. It got multiple other updates on PS4 and PC before this, like 3 big ones, right? And nobody was talking about it. It wasn't back in the NPD. Nobody cared. People start seeing it on the Xbox One X. Sean Murray does a couple of inside Xboxes. The hype gets start going because the Xbox One X is doing 4K or 60 frames per second at 1440p, whatever. And, next thing you know, people are hyping it up. It's back in the NPD. It's not NPD, but it's in the top on the sales for the UK charts, regardless of what their desserts are. I mean, obviously people are buying it. So I think that that's a testament, and good for them for kind of making it out. And doing that. So I do attribute Xbox. And who else is interviewing Sean Murray or talking about the game? Nobody. It was.
I think that's a great game for Game Pass. By the way, I would love to see that game.
I'm waiting to see that game going to Game Pass, man. I
it
think
would be a good one. I think they really rebounded well, and this was actually a topic that I had that we kind of just organically went into.
Yeah,
which is actually really cool because I'm glad that we actually tried that out. It's a really good game.
It is.
Let's see, what can we talk about here? Oh, this is interesting actually. They announced the PlayStation Plus games for August. Mafia 3.
Yeah.
And Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited.
I think both sides are really good this month.
Yeah,
I like
this is a very good month for gamers.
They're slugging it out, huh?
Yeah.
Like holy crap, Mafia 3 is an amazing
Mafia
game.
3. I don't know about the other one. Not for me.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight is not great.
No.
I think I have it on.
But it's a good
Xbox
game to get, I guess.
Dead by Daylight, you get over very quickly.
Yeah, I mean it's no Forza Horizon 2 and For Honor, but it's still a pretty good lineup, right? I mean, surprising. Yeah, I thought they were gonna do like E.T. Returns and Qbert 2 because that's what they've been doing. But yeah, Mafia 3 is a great game. I gave it. It was one of the.
Crap.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Crappy!
Somebody kidnapped Crap.
Sound like he fell down a flight of stairs.
PlayStation got him.
He was like, and this is why.
He was on that PSVR, man.
but to add what he said, I've never played Mafia 3, and Craft's been telling me how great it is for like the past year. So I'm like, listen, would I rather have it for the X? Sure.
Pretty cool.
I did. I tried the demo too. I did like it.
Yeah.
But I will be grabbing that on PS Plus, and I will be enjoying the shit out of that. I will play that game. That's it.
I think my PS Plus ran out actually, so
they just had a sale on PS Plus recently too.
I don't really see the need right now. When it comes to PlayStation, the next game I want for my PS4 is Spider-Man. Do I really need PS Plus for it? No, I don't. So like I don't really see a need for PlayStation Plus right now, but they are going. This is one of those high months. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to games being given with the gold or live services, it's going to be hit or miss though. When you look at it, all together though. What Xbox is doing with the games with gold, and then the games that they put into Game Pass, they are killing it right now. When it comes to games, what do you guys think?
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think it's what Crap said and they're slugging it out, or it was just like that's the way they fell? I think it's the way they fell.
I think the stars aligned at the perfect time, and that's right. What happened.
Salt's laughing. He knows what I mean. That shit. I don't think they're slugging shit out because next month Xbox Live will give us like Slime Rancher 2 or something. Yeah. I think that was more of a coincidence thing. I don't know. Has anyone else played Mafia 3 here? Salt, do you own it?
No.
I mean,
I know El Mega out there loves that freaking game, but I do know when that game released, unless they did a bunch of patches, there was a lot of bugs and glitches.
They did a lot.
Am I back?
You are back. What happened?
Dude, I don't know. Like I had
some. Are you okay?
my computer was like error. So this is why I hate PCs, right?
Great.
Like,
we made fun of Max in the beginning of the show. Now
I know,
right?
left. Well, it was like error or something. Some kind of error came up, and
oh
so
shit,
like,
you guys! I'm next. I'm on my phone. I'm gonna go next. You guys, pray for me.
So I was like, okay, that was weird, man. I get some kind of weird ass error for this, but I mean, hey,
tell us about Mafia, Crappy. How amazing it is, and you have. I think you have it on both systems, right?
Yes. Here's the thing, right? I have it on Hellhammer, one of the rare games that he bought on the Xbox One. Yeah.
That one in Vampire. That's it.
Exactly. and I tell you what, the music was the first thing that drew me. And when you kick it off with some Jimi Hendrix, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You know, I love that era. 60s music is my favorite kind of music. So jumping into that was incredible. The story was great. It had some bugs and stuff, but whatever.
Did they fix some crap? Have you gone back?
Yeah, they fixed them.
Oh yeah,
they fixed. Yeah, they fixed them. You know, it was weird. Like cars would randomly blow up or whatever. And
I think it's enhanced as well, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, they enhanced it. Yep. And then what happened was they the 2K store had the official collector's edition of the game.
Oh yeah,
I
shared that
for on sale. Yeah, Foxy deal, right? So I bought it on PS4 with the collector's edition because I already beat it on Xbox. The collector's edition was awesome. I think it was like $25 or something. It was an incredible deal. And so I already have it, but still pretty kick ass that they have it. So I can download it digital as well. But yeah, I love that game. One of the best stories in a game you'll ever see, and some of the best music you'll ever.
A lot of people have said on Twitter, and this is not because of the PS Plus announcement that came out today. People have been saying that me and you tried it and we didn't like it. I still would say no, but people said Dead by Daylight actually has come around. Like it's gotten better. Because remember, that came out right around the whole Friday the 13th time frame, and it was like, okay, you're one bad guy chasing 4 or 5 camp counselors.
Yeah, I had some fun with that. It was okay.
The generator thing was weird.
Yeah, the generator thing sucked. So we played it, and I did a review of it. Yeah. And so basically, there's like a mini game you got to play to start the generator, and if you mess it up even a little bit, it makes a bunch of noise, and so the bad guy knows right where you are. Right, it's kind of a pain in the ass, and then like, how do you escape? I don't know. It was like it was cool and eerie, but it wasn't great. You know.
No.
So I mean, it's a decent game. I
think it's weird. Like I see streams and stuff. I think it's weird. Like there's certain times you can have fun with it, but other times certain monsters or whatever you want to call them, they are more OP than the others. And I think that's what the issue was. Like certain people would only use this certain creature monster thing, and then they would always get you or something like that. And then they had to like fix that. It was kind of weird.
Now they did add some decent DLC to that game, didn't they? Like you can play as certain characters or whatever. Right? Like
like you're talking about like not that they put like Freddy Krueger, but they put like different characters in there like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. They'd already had a lot, so I'm sure if they added to that.
Right, which is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, again, for free, it's interesting. Do I think that doesn't really blow anyone's doors off? But, I mean, same thing on the Xbox side, right? So you have For Honor, and what's the other?
For Honor, woo!
What's the Xbox One?
Forza Horizon 2.
Forza Horizon 2, which, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but, I mean, I think majority of people that were like, yeah, that's great. We were like, we already own it.
We played it. We own it.
We own it. We played it.
I tried For Honor, like the beta. It was pretty good. I played it on the PlayStation because my brother had it for a while or something. Like I don't know, borrowed it from GameStop or something. It was pretty good, but the multiplayer stuff is really hard and challenging. Fighting with other people online. So, I mean, if people want to play it for the campaign, because it does have a story, you want to get some achievos that way, cool. But the multiplayer, I'm going to say right now, is really hard. And they keep adding to that, which is really nice. Just like all the Ubisoft games, they just keep adding to that because it's games as a service.
Yeah. Oh, they added Michael Myers to that game, which is pretty cool.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a pretty kick-ass character if you ask me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like we used to play. They also added Leatherface, and A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's what I said. I thought it was Krueger, but my thing about it is, I getting back to it. I mean, if we want to talk about big guns for big guns, I think Mafia 3 and I think For Honor, both outstanding on both ends.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I lean a little more towards Mafia 3 just because that's probably what I would play. For Honor is just not my bag. Right? I mean, that's as clear as
like
day.
I said,
it's
really tough.
It's medieval jousting.
You know why it's tough? Because it's not just pressing buttons, Mooch.
Yeah.
No.
You've gotta okay, he's gonna swing left.
That's
so
the part.
do this.
That's the part I don't mind. I don't want another. Like everyone's like, I can't wait for Injustice 18. I want to step on my controller for a week. Get out of here.
Injustice 18.
I can't wait. I want to be Superman again. And this one, he wraps his cape around you and strangles you. If you hit the Y button with your heel. Like, get out of here.
You play DC and Fighter fans triggered.
Yeah, play this game when those games when you were younger, Mooch.
Right.
Like the first thing I played when I got my SNES
Mini. They were younger. They were new.
Yeah.
I played Mortal Kombat till my thumbs bled. I loved it.
The first game I played when I got my SNES Mini was Street Fighter 2. Because I remember having so much fun with that as a kid, Like, it was. Yeah. It was so awesome, and I remembered, I picked Guile, and I was doing his little move and stuff. It was pretty kick ass, man.
First time I played that was in the arcade. Throwback.
I did too. I played that in the arcade and Mortal Kombat. And I used to spend my allowance there, and you'd see all the big kids and stuff. They would be playing it and hogging it, and then I'd get to play it and they'd whoop me. And then I'd go back to the the Ninja Turtles game or whatever.
Yeah, right. Actually, that was a great game.
It was.
I will say something else that I think is interesting. I want to see what you guys think. I think that the way PS Plus does it, I like better than Games with Gold. I don't know what For Honor. I watch For Honor's reviews. I watch gameplay, but I've never experienced it. Right, I haven't played it. Right, and don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly.
So
Mooch.
I said, hey. There I go. I pick up my phone. August 1st. I'll be damned. Time to play some For Honor. Get home, and Microsoft goes, fuck yourself. What? I'm like, wait. What happened? You can't play till the 16th. Kiss my ass. Here's the thing. Why is it in the month of August, right, in the August games with gold, I got to wait till the 16th? I like PlayStation. They're like, here's the games. There's the games. It's August till fucking September. It makes sense. It makes sense. I don't get the 16th thing. It bothers me. It irks me. And let me tell you something. It's a genius move by Microsoft because what it does is not us, of course, that everyone tunes in and everybody follows everybody and everybody knows when Mike and Larry tweet it out. I get it. But people who are not paying attention, like on the 29th of August, nobody's like, oh shit, I don't follow Larry on Twitter. I wonder if I only got 2 days left for Honor. They don't know. So maybe they don't download it because it's wacky. So I don't know. My whole thing is right? It is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I think they usually put the better game last. That way, if people have to upgrade, or renew their Xbox Live,
I think it just keeps people active longer. Because it makes you go back on the Xbox. You can't just go on the first, download all the games, and then get offline and go do whatever you're going to do. You have to come back for more games.
Right, and by coming back, it's a deterrent. I know that may not make sense to you guys.
That's a you problem.
It's not a me problem. No, it's not a me problem. Because if it's free, Mooch is there. You don't think I got an alarm set for the 16th?
I've never heard this until today.
Listen, on the 16th of every month, my entire house goes off like a fucking it's like I have like church bells here. You have no idea what we do to get free games.
For Honor. You know what's funny is I have that game physically, and I'll have it digitally as well. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty.
Don't you think it should be all month though? Crap.
You know what? Maybe that's something we could ask Uncle Phil.
We should ask Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil,
and see
what do you guys think of the Game Pass games? Do you still have Game Pass active, you guys?
I do until next year. Okay.
Oh shit, we all do. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it has Rise, Son of Rome, Dead Rising 2, Hitman Season 1.
I'm excited about that.
I want to talk about this stuff. I made a video and then all the comments were like, you don't know what you're talking about. Your opinion sucks. All the other people said these games were good. Why do you say they suck? And I'm like, well, because I have an opinion, I have preference, and I tweeted about it anyway.
Stay salty, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, Salty, why don't you like these games?
So first of all, the Rise Son of Rome stuff, that was a games with gold. So if you've had Xbox Live, you probably have the game already. So you can kind of knock that out, right? And then you have all these indie titles that nobody's heard of. And then you got the Hitman game. So pretty much you get the Hitman game, that's it, right? So it's subpar.
People heard of the Escapist, man. And I heard a lot of things about Ruiner as well. I'm actually looking forward to that as well.
I never heard of Ruiner, so
yeah, honestly, you could say what you say, but for the most part, not a lot of people have heard of those games. They're indie games. And if you're trying to have this as the Netflix of gaming, like I've said, you have to have content that draws people in, and this shit doesn't do it for me. So that's my opinion. And then people are like, oh, Game Pass, $10. Oh, you get one game and it's worthwhile. Blah, 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 blah. Sea of Thieves pays for it. And I'm like, does Netflix say that when they're making all this content and making movies and giving you shit month to month that people want to keep their subscription? That's the point I'm trying to make. But then people think that I can't have an opinion. Well, so that's the thing.
No, you're definitely entitled to your opinion for sure.
Right.
I was gonna say, but Salty, you talk about Netflix and what they're doing now. I think what you need to look at with Netflix is how they grew into that, though, because when they first started and started getting, everything together, they weren't dropping these kind of like Netflix originals like every month and stuff like that. They're doing it now, but Game Pass is definitely establishing itself and it's getting bigger. And I think you need a variety of games, and I think that they're going to be okay until Forza Horizon 4 comes out. So
that's fine, and I respect your opinion, but I kind of disagree because Netflix was at the forefront during that time. There wasn't this shit going on. You know what I'm saying? That model wasn't established. They were creating it. Yep. So they started one way and then they molded into another, right? They started physical, they went to digital. We have this model now, so it's established. You don't need that time to start up. Microsoft knows for a fact that they wanted to be the industry leaders. If you want to be the industry leaders with this service, be the industry leaders. You don't have to wind up. They have the money. They're almost $1 trillion company. If they wanted to, they could drop big AAA titles that everybody would be like, damn, that's a crazy game that they're dropping in there. I need to get Game Pass, and I need to keep it because that's the point I'm trying to make. But I respect your opinion.
No, and I hear you, but with the whole $1 trillion company thing, you got to remember Xbox is a division of $1 trillion.
But it's under the umbrella of Microsoft.
They still have a budget, man. They still have a budget,
and their budget has gone up by tremendously. Right?
It has. Let me say this: I think, who knows? There could be somebody that's new to Xbox and they want to play Rise. Like Rise, I think is a solid game.
Yep.
Hitman, that is a very underrated, and that's X enhanced. I definitely recommend that to a lot of people.
And Dead Rising 2.
Dead Rising 2, that's pretty fun. It's the remastered one. Disney Rush Connect Pixar, man.
I'm excited. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, no. Listen. That I reviewed that on the 360 back in the day. Like, that's a family title or whatever. I get it. The Escapist, that's actually a pretty good one. I have the original. It's the Walking Dead Escapist. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't think it's a fantastic month, but I do think that it's a decent month. Yeah, I do think it's a decent month. I don't know, like Mooch, or do you still think it's a never was? I think it's good. For me, I buy everything almost.
It depends on how we want to look at it. Crap, is it a never was today? Yes. Depending what they do in the future, I think it's a staple. I mean, it does depend on how Microsoft treats it. And that's, again, goes back to the very first sentence I said, basically one of the first sentences I said tonight on tonight's show. It's kind of like I sometimes just shrug my shoulders and I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I think here we are. Game Pass is over a year old. You got to throw one AAA big boy in there. And even if it's a little older, they did it with Fallout. That was decent. But Fallout really, after talking to so many people in the community and me playing it for a bit now, Fallout hasn't reached out far enough. And I think it would be nice. Like, I think Noof said it in the chat too. Noof was agreeing with Salt, saying that, there's really nothing in there that says I need to subscribe to that because I need to watch that or I need to play that game. And, Hitman is a good move. Fallout was a good move. their first party. Listen, it is what it is. That's fine. You either love it or you don't. That we're not going to discuss that. That's been beaten like a dead horse. But I mean, like, I think realistically that I'm excited because I have Game Pass that I will try Hitman. But I can tell you right now, if I didn't have Game Pass, I would not get Game Pass for Hitman. I think that kind of sums it up.
Yeah, you know, it's like I said, it's one of those games that they did episodically. It actually deserves, probably, in my opinion, to be a Game Pass game all the time.
Crap, have you played it?
Hitman? Hell yeah, dude. I had that. I played it right from the beginning.
So explain this to me, Crap. If someone was to is there 5 parts?
There's different parts, and there's different. They also did a game as a service type thing. Like there were like weeklies or monthly special hits and stuff like that you could do.
Okay.
And like I said, it's Xbox One and X enhanced, and it looks amazing. It's like if you want a really amazing game.
How long's the game, Crap?
Oh man, I guess it depends because there's challenges and all that kind of stuff in there as well. Like you can make your own and then send them to your friend. You know what I mean? Like
it's so weird too. Like I don't know. This game is weird because for me, Hitman's never been an episodic game. I see that as an action full AAA game.
Yep.
Should have came out all in one hit. But then again, it would have been nice if it came out on Game Pass day one because then people would go back every month to play each episode. So that would have been smart. And they should do that in the future where they do get an episodic game on Game Pass and drop every episode separately, like once a month, for people can stay subscribed. But yeah, I mean, Hitman is a weird wild card kind of thing because I don't know what's going on there. But I mean, the people that I know that played it liked it, so that's cool.
Let me comment on what me and Salt are kind of talking about in the chat. You know, I'm in Salty's spot. The only difference is that I decided to pull the trigger E3 week and do the 12 months for $59. If that continues, or I see Foxy's deals and she's like, hey, guess what? In October, because all those stack, she's like, this stacks. If in October I see it again, 12 months for $59, I would pick it up again. Is it because I can't wait to have Game Pass in the house? Absolutely not. I've actually showed my son. I said, here's the games. Here's all the stuff you can get. He's like, that's really great. It's great. All right, stop. And he was just done with it. He's like, I don't care. I'm going back to Fortnite. My whole point was like, right. Well, my point being is just that like, there's nothing in there that's enthralling. So Salty just said in the chat, and Salt, chime in if you want. He's like, the reason I renewed it was the $10 for 3 months, which is a great deal. I also think the 12 months for $59, I think that's a very good deal.
Yeah.
I would re-up it. I would continue to have it. But let's just say this. Let's say they don't. For all practical purposes, they do not have another 12 months for $59 and mine expires. I'm not going to re-up it for $120. I can guarantee you that I won't do that.
Yep. So that's the point I'm trying to make. In my situation, I'm treating Game Pass on a month-to-month situation. So they had Vermintide in there. I wanted to play that. I re-upped. State of Decay 2 was an option. I re-upped. Right. Now looking forward at the lineup, I'm like, you know
Forza
what I'm saying?
Horizon 4.
Yeah, when Forza Horizon 4 goes in there, I might, think about it. And there was the sell, but I was saying in the chat, there's no way in hell I'm dropping, for a year unless there's an extreme sell there because the value isn't there like Netflix. Netflix people are like, well, fuck, I have my membership. That's just something that's coming out, right?
Right.
I believe in the value of Netflix, but for me personally, it's just not. I can't. It's not, the value's not there yet. But a lot of people in chat are like, whoa, so whatever.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
We've had Game Pass in this house pretty much since it started, and I don't see us like
it's been out for about a year now, right?
Yeah,
over a year. Yeah,
I don't see us moving into the future.
You have a
without
unique.
It.
Well, I shouldn't say unique. That's not true. I want to retract that word. It's not unique. You have the diverse family that Xbox is catering to, though. Xbox.
Exactly.
You have you, Mel, the kids, right?
Yeah.
And the twins, and it goes on and on. And here's my thing. You've got a lot of different likes and tastes in that same house. So Game Pass for you is a godsend.
It is an absolute godsend.
Where in my house, it's basically me and my son that game. And it's like, for the most part, my daughter's like big on the mobile thing. But I'm saying like the whole thing about it that's really interesting is that like we don't really use the whole Game Pass thing. I'm using it right now for Fallout 4.
We couldn't give that damn stuff away for the longest time. I was giving it away left and right. I was like, yeah, you want some Game Pass? Nah, we don't want any Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
try
nobody
giving
wanted
it
it.
away now, though, man. Like people
Dude,
will take that
here's the
left
thing.
and right, dude.
You know, we did M&C mornings, and we used to do the Pony Prize, right? The Pony Prize, we were giving away months of Game Pass,
Right?
And people were like, "Stop giving away Game Pass as the Pony Prize." And me and Mooch are like,
They want
okay,
a membership and
you know,
games. Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. Going back to that story, Crap's 110% right. Like we had some people writing us back, being like, you know what, thanks for the prize, but we're good.
Yeah, take it, shove it
back.
Re-gift
it.
Now, with the first party studios in there, it made it more enticing. But realistically, that's still like until you get the third party deals in there, and it doesn't have to be like I would prefer some day and date, but if they aren't day and date,
Game Pass is doing great right now. Like they will get third party in there eventually, but to see where it's come from in about a year and where it's going right now,
Xbox,
it's staple in Xbox.
Xbox. Let me make a point to you real quick before you. Here's my one concern. We're at $10 a month right now, folks. Things only go up.
Yep.
So when this thing's $150, is it worth it to you then? How about when it hits $180? How about when it's $200?
Yep.
So what I'm saying to you is that Netflix, and I don't know what the entry was, but the entry back in the day for just streaming, back when they had the discs and then they had streaming, just streaming was like $7.
Yeah, it was $7.
Now we're up to like $8.99, $9.99, right? After years. But now we're at 10 with Xbox. So it's going to go to 12 soon, then 15 a month, then $17.99.
You don't know that, though, man.
Well, I
know.
know that it's sure as shit.
I mean, you know that on
Sure
within
inflation.
your mindset. Yeah.
No, not my mindset.
See,
Not my
business model.
there's a reason bread is still not a nickel. Okay, it's the way it is.
Everything goes up.
Everything goes up.
Even memberships. Our membership used to cost less. Now they cost more.
But if we live like that, if we live with that mentality, like throughout past gaming and stuff like that,
I'm not saying no, Xbox. I'm not telling you not to go home and enjoy what you're enjoying right now. But what I'm saying to you is that I think $10 was a great starting point. And then I sat there and I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, man, I wish that was just a couple dollars less because they're going to go up a couple bucks every couple of months. That's not going to stay like that forever.
No, I guarantee you that $10 price point was just to build the base, you know?
Yes,
that's
and
just
as
15 easy.
And as long as it gets better and they have way better titles in there and they have partnerships like, I don't know, WB Games. Next thing you know, a lot of the WB games are in there with them because, I don't know, for a couple months, then I would be like, okay, I understand why I would be 12 or 13 or 15 because they'll keep adding to it. Next thing you know, a library is going to be 300, 400 games.
But Foxy, here's the thing, though. That's where everything becomes everyone's kind of like.
I think they found the flexible price point that might have been iffy in the beginning, but is sound moving forward. And I don't think we're going to see any type of price hike when it comes to Game Pass.
How long do you think you got, Xbot? How long? When you say long,
4 years.
I don't know, man.
I'll go up the price. I would take a bet that they'd up the price within a couple years.
Yeah, 2 years.
When the new system comes out, I have a feeling.
Yeah, in 2 years.
No, because they're going to use that to promote it as well. They are not going to jack up the price when they're coming out with new hardware.
If they don't jack, let me tell you, Xbox, if they don't jack up the price, and I know you're going to go, that's great, but there's a lot of people on the panel that think it's not great, is if they don't jack up the price, then you can expect the same mediocre type of games.
Dude, I love Game Pass, man. I think that what they're offering for this month is absolutely solid.
This month is decent.
I mean, they're gonna have a couple down months.
But you say that
but you look at it as a whole,
right?
Over 100 games there. If you can find 15 games that you want to play,
right,
out of that for $10 a month, then guess what? You're probably not a gamer.
But here's
probably not a gamer.
Take it easy there, Xbox. Let me tell you why. We've got starting in 30 days. We're gonna drown in new games. So my whole point is like I don't have time to play the 15 that you're picking out from 1997 to play again because I gotta play Game Pass. Well, right? half a Game Pass is 360 games. My point being is like I'm just saying like don't get me wrong, Xbox. You're not wrong. I can't just say you're not gonna have fun. But what I'm saying to you is that like
take fun.
We have is that Crap that's botting or me?
Yep,
that's Crap.
Crappy.
Oh, all right, Crap your bot.
Damn it.
So, anyways, my point being is that like Xbox, very well said what you said, but my thing about it is that like we're not on a deserted island. So we have games coming out in 30 days that we're all going to take up a lot of our time. So a lot of the stuff you're talking about, like a lot of us hardcore that are buying Game Pass, we don't really have time to go back and sink our teeth into the first Dante's Inferno. It's like we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I know, but they have that covered. They have that covered when it comes around with like Forza Horizon 4. There's a lot of people that aren't actually going to buy that game, and they're going to use their Game Pass subscription.
That is true.
To play that.
That is true. And listen, that's what I was telling Salty earlier on the show too. We've really covered a lot of ground in the show. I mean, what I was saying was the Salty was, if we're going to sit here and be like, is it great for people that are not going to buy all these new games this fall? Yes. And Xbot wins. He wins the debate. For all you guys that are in the chat right now that are like, Game Pass is great, but I'm buying everything coming out this fall. Well, buddy, you are not going to be playing Game Pass because Red Dead Redemption 2 is like 200 hours alone. So, I mean,
I'm not even buying that game, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, so you're in that other mold, Xbox, and that's fine. That's
totally look, I have Game Pass, but I'm still buying Forza Horizon 4.
Spider-Man and Tomb Raider.
Spider-Man.
What I'm going to do as a move,
I got to swing to the left, swing to the right.
Hell yeah.
You forgot the cha-cha-cha. But listen, here's my thing, real quick. If crap, I recommend, and I hope you take my advice, since you have Game Pass, and Foxy, we agreed on this last week. Like totally play Forza when it comes out on Game Pass, and Forza in like 6 months is going to be like $20-$25 on one of the 85 Xbox digital sales they have a year now.
Yep. So like Forza takes a long time to go down in price.
6 months, I said, crap. 6 months.
Yeah,
it'll be down half price.
I saw it.
Buy
last
it then.
one came out, and on Black Friday it was $30. But that was only on Black Friday.
The defense rests.
I bought the here's the thing. I bought the physical edition of that.
Yeah, the ultimate. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the ultimate edition. And so same thing with this one. Just that's probably one of my favorite
ultimate edition?
Yeah.
They usually do that. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if they're doing on this one, but they usually
out of it crap. But if all you get is 5 days early access with a game that's in Game Pass, that's not worth it. I'd say you go ahead. You've already paid. You've definitely contributed to the team. Believe me. You've heard Rare's Craig Duncan told us, well, if it's in Game Pass, it's part of the organization. We're all part of it. We love it. We love the organization, the organization. So they are all into that. You've supported the team. What I'm saying is I'm not going to double dip. Once you dip a chip, you take a bite. You can't dip again. Okay? So dude, I'm not going to – I already paid for Game Pass. So I will buy Forza Horizon 4 because I'm with you, Crap. I'm with you, but I want it on sale.
Yeah, I get early access for it for doing that, like the car pass, the VIP membership.
The map.
And the
treasure and the barns and all that. Yeah, I get it.
And it says, and 2 game expansions when they come available. So $100 gets you all that. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine if you want to do that. But I'd rather wait for the deal. That's what I was saying.
Just a heads up, if you got that deal during the sale for the 3-month shit, if you don't cancel, it will renew for 3 months. So just to let you know.
I know my PlayStation Plus just did that to me. It just
that's how
they always do that.
That's how they're getting you now. Yep. It's like, hey, we'll give you three months for $10, but then.
Well, here's the thing, right? So the game would be $60. And then they usually charge $25 a piece for the DLC pack, the DLC. Yep. So paying $100 and then I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like that to me is well worth it, and I'm pretty excited about that. So, just real quick, I know we're kind of running late on time, but I did want to talk about Xbox Live. Had a little bit of problems today. I could tell because my Twitter has like 100,000 tweets about it. Yeah, right. And I was scratching my head about this because me and Mooch were talking about it. PlayStation Network has been off and on for the last week. It's been and nobody's talking about it. I'm not seeing videos about it. I'm not seeing people complain. They're just like, well, it's great. I guess we'll play offline.
Yeah, I'm a single player guy anyway.
Yeah, single player great.
To be honest, some people didn't even know they were playing single player games, and they were just like, "Wait, it did? Oh, I didn't even notice."
Yeah,
they're just playing by themselves. I mean,
got
it's
tons
fact.
of DMs that say, "Hey, that's what single player bangers are for." When you know,
I mean, that's what they're for sure.
The only thing that was messing up on my Xbox today was the party chat. It was
well, that was rough last night too for the raid. Thank God it like cleared up before we started, but that was rough in the pregame.
Yeah, and it was a little worse today. It took longer to connect, but at the end of the day, I was still able to go in and on multi.
The worst part about it is, you see so many, like, there's a lot of the Xbox guys, and like, this is a 2-hour talk show that we do, especially me and Crap right now. We do 3 days in a row talk shows. And that's not including anything we might do as like a special guest on a different show. So you've got all this talking we're doing, and people are like, Mooch, how dare you? Like somebody in the chat was like, how dare you be down on Xbox? How dare I be down? Are you kidding me? I mean, you know how many bullets I take for you guys on the Xbox team? But anyway,
you don't talk about that, man. Look at me, dude.
Don't get negative,
I know. But anyway,
I'm the guy who canceled the pre-order for a game because other people got to play it. So
yeah. Meanwhile, Crack's got he's got a Gears tattoo on his arm. No executive does right now, except for maybe Rod. But anyway,
yeah. Well, Rod Ferguson's
Rod. There's always Rod.
There's Rod.
But a lot of the Xbox guys are like, I tried to log on, I can't log on. And then they took a picture of their screenshot, and they're like, can't log on Twitter.
Look at me. It's irrepressible.
It says error code. Error.
What am I paying for? Xbox Live? What's the deal here?
It's 10 minutes. Like, go make yourself a sandwich. Come back. It'll work. It was really unacceptable. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Everybody sounds like Theodore Roosevelt all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on, but like what I'm saying to you guys is,
I can't understand this. What's going on?
I can't talk to Mooch.
I'm a multiplayer player.
I can't talk to Mooch when I'm playing Destiny.
I found that odd, isn't it? Crap. I mean, I found it odd. I know when it goes down. I'm not on Twitter being like,
it's bad.
What's interesting?
Why can't I do that?
When I do notice it rarely goes down, it's like certain things like, oh, the store is acting up. Or like I can't talk.
It's a party.
Yeah, or the party.
Yeah,
exactly. But I'm still playing like Gears Online. But yeah, I'm like, wait, why is the party acting weird? Why did Tim get kicked out? Why did Skirtle get kicked out? I don't understand it. But it's rare as opposed to when my bro's playing on PlayStation or Warframe or Destiny, and he's like, I can't do anything.
So
anything at all.
You know what's funny? I got called a fraud because I don't own a PlayStation. So I was talking about how often PlayStation Network goes down. But then I got the blowback that said, hey, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're not playing PlayStation. That's like, it doesn't take a genius to see every, it's so often they're tweeting on Twitter, hey, it's down again. It's down again. It's down again. It's like, do I need to have it to know it goes down all the time?
Thank you. And this has been my whole thing. No, Saul, thank you for bringing that up. And that goes with my whole, that's why a lot of guys in the chat will kind of giggle about it when they're like, don't knock it till you try it, Mooch. It's like, I've been playing games for fucking ever, right? Like when you see a game, Salt, if I was like, Salt, take a look at this game. You're like, all right. I'm like, all right. You like the game? Yeah, I don't really think that's my cup of tea. How dare you, Salty? How? You haven't put 60 hours in and spent $60 on it? No. How dare you? How can you critique it?
Yeah, it turns it.
It's like what you know.
It turns into a fucking conspiracy theory.
Right.
Oh, it's fake news. When they say it's down, it's not really down. It's like, come on, dude.
That's like when I said that my PS4 Pro sounds like a damn jet plane taking off, and people were like, I don't know what you're talking about, Crap. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. You're insane, Crap. You're lying. Mine's nothing like that. So,
oh my God. They're so loud.
They are. They're very loud. You know what? It is after 10.
Yeah.
I want to do some outros real quick. Mooch, what do you got going on?
Well, buddy, let's talk about this week. So we are doing. So J-Dubs, just so you guys know, J-Dubs is on vacation. So me and Crap are doing a M&C evenings, 7 o'clock. We're going to keep our Thursday schedules rolling on Crap's channel. And it will be. We have a rundown planned. We're doing a live rundown, and it should be fun.
With a moderator.
There'll be a surprise guest. Moderator.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, I think you guys will all enjoy it, and then we'll do our usual bit, and then we have Crossfire,
Call of Duty. We got a lot of
good
to go at it.
Trust me, I'll be doing my whole my voice warm up before that show, and then Friday, we got Crossfire 7 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of guys who don't, I don't know if you don't follow me or you do follow me on Twitter, but big power outage for like, it was like 14 hours, 18 hours. It was awful. Awful. That's why I'm a city guy. We need power. No, yeah. I like cement. I like cement, brick, marble. Okay. I'm Italian American for crying out loud. That's all we like. We don't like grass, trees, and woods. So anyways, we don't. But that being said, Crossfire will be back 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it'll be very entertaining. Trust me, folks.
Awesome stuff. Foxy, what do you got going on?
Making videos and stuff. Big shout out to Jamie. He just sent out the Scarlet GIF. That was very cool, bro.
Nice. Can't wait to check it out.
But yeah, I love doing this show with you guys. I think you're hilarious. A lot of great points coming out of everybody. Thanks to Xbox for joining us. And I gotta go. Bye.
All right.
Nice.
Later. Salty, what do you got going on?
Hey, Thursday night, we got you guys covered. We got the pregame with Mooch and Crap. Make sure you guys check that out. And then we have the Saltiest Gaming Podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be awesome. Also, make sure you guys check out Mixing It Up with Noof on Mixer. It's going to be his last time doing it, so you guys need to go check that out for sure. What else is going on? I dropped some videos. Follow me on Twitter. We got a giveaway going on. Saltiest Gaming, the Eyes of One. This 2 hours flew by, right, guys?
Yeah. Salty, thank you, bro. It was great having you on the show.
Oh, God.
T-Pain, everybody.
How am I supposed to follow that, man?
Xbox, what do you got going on, man? Episode 99.6 or something?
No, we are going live this Saturday, next podcast on my channel, episode 100. And I got to say, huge shout out to everybody that supports the podcast. Huge numbers, people coming in and checking it out live. So definitely tune in this Saturday. We're going to do episode 100, and then I don't think the Don's going to be there
after 99.5.
So we might have to do another show next week that is a special kind of like the Don episode.
100.1. That would be hilarious. So
yeah, that's a good idea. I'm actually I'm thinking about that now, man.
All right, Wheel of Wonder.
But
we won't have it next episode.
Crap.
Wheel of Wonder. Okay, guys, we're out. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
We'll catch you next time, man. Appreciate it. Hit that like button.